I have never been a fan of romance animes. I don't know why, but I guess I'm not a very emotional person. Or I can say even though I'm emotional, I don't show it too much. That's probably the reason I don't like romance animes. Actually, when I was in high school, I watched Your Name and I remember liking it. But back then I was probably more emotional than now, so maybe that was the reason. But lately, I started to see so many Your Lie in April TikToks, shorts and reels on social media. And I just wanted to understand what those videos were about. So I thought myself, why don't I give this very popular romance anime a chance? Maybe it will change my opinion towards romance animes, right? Well, it's complicated, and let me explain. So I started watching Your Lie in April, and this is a story of Kosei Arima, a prestigious pianist who gave up the piano shortly after his mother's death because he couldn't hear the piano anymore. But then by some chance he runs into Kaori, who is a violinist. She is a violinist who does not follow the traditional way of playing, and she also appears to be in the talking phase throughout the anime with Kosei's best friend Watari, and this is Tsubaki. She's Kosei's best friend. So these are the characters, and I mean, I don't want to get into too much story and stuff because it's a very old anime and I think most of you watching this already know what the story is about. If you don't know, then just go watch it by yourself. I think it's a very watchable anime, but it has some flaws as always, and I'm gonna talk about them today. So first, I want to talk about the characters. We have like 4 main characters who are like friends, and each one of them has a different personality. These characters are a little bit complex, and each has their own problems that they have to work through. The main character Kosei has mommy issues. Her mother forced him to play the piano because she wanted his son to fulfill her dreams, and at some point, Kosei couldn't handle the pressure anymore and had an argument with his mom. After that argument, his mom died, and he somehow was not able to hear the music anymore. Like basically when his mom died, he lost the purpose to play, and he was also like traumatized and stuff. And then there is this girl, Tsubaki, who is Kosei's friend since childhood. She is very aggressive, but also very cute, and she plays baseball, or I don't know what this sport is called. I'm from Europe. So her problem is actually not a problem in my opinion. She has a crush on Kosei, but she does not want to admit that. That's her only problem basically. Then there is this guy, Watari, who is also a friend of Kosei and Tsubaki. He is the captain of the football team, and yes, football, not soccer. So he's very popular in the school, and his only problem is he wants girls to be interested in him so he can be the cool, nonchalant guy who does not give a F about girls. Yeah, that's really his only problem, dude. And then lastly, there is this girl, Kaori, the violinist, who newly joins the friend group, and her problem is she's basically on the verge of death because of some sickness, I guess. But she idolizes Kosei and she wants to play with him. Like, I mean, she wants to like duet kind of thing. Oh, by the way, she also dates Kosei's best friend Watari, as I told you guys. But the reason is she wants to be close to Kosei. This is one of the plot twists of the anime, and I hope you know until now, because if you don't know the anime, as I said, don't watch this video, just go watch the anime. So Kosei thinks Kaori actually does not like him, and he gets upset. He does not confess his love to Kaori, but he tells his best friend Watari, who dates her, that he loves Kaori. And what does my man Watari say? He just says, I know, I think you should date her too. Like, dude, what the F? If you don't like her, why are you dating her? I swear to God, Watari is the worst wingman I have ever seen. Oh, by the way, Tsubaki also likes Kosei, but she somehow does not want to admit that. So, she dates another guy to make Kosei jealous. But their relationship does not go well, because Tsubaki has Kosei in her mind the whole time, and she's very jealous of Kaori, who spends time with Kosei too much. Yeah, so this is basically the love triangle, which makes me like really sick. And most of the time, we watch the characters like thinking about their feelings. They just think about their love and stuff, and they just don't think of approaching their friends. They only think, like, I swear to God, dude, this is what happens 90% of the time. We just watch the characters thinking and not taking any actions, and it feels like nothing's happening. Anyways, I'm gonna get into this deeper, but later on. So, these are the characters, and I prefer to split this anime into 2 parts. The first half of the anime is about Kosei beating his childhood trauma and learning to play the piano. I mean, trying to hear the sound of the piano again. And don't get me wrong, this part was amazing. Him falling in love and finding a reason to play the piano again. Him battling with his thoughts and with his past and with his trauma. The competition where he plays with Kaori, the sound and the music, it was very good. It had only one little downside for me, and it was the thinking aspect. Like, as I told you guys, the characters are constantly thinking. They think and think and think, but at the end they don't say anything or do anything, so it feels like the story is not progressing, you know what I'm saying? In fact, most of the time I felt like there is nothing happening and the story is not moving forward. I mean, actually, if you ask me, there is not a story, because most of the time we watch middle schoolers living their everyday lives and thinking about their problems and having crushes on some other characters and stuff. So I'm a shonen fan. In my opinion, there must be a story where the whole world is involved, okay? Otherwise, it's not a good story for me. When the competition arc came out, I was very excited. I thought finally something is going on, and finally something is going to happen. And it happened too, but not like I expected. Kaori convinced Kosei to play with her, and while playing, Kosei broke out of his chains, which was really good. And like Kosei's rival side characters were also really good. I mean, these two, they thought of beating their childhood hero Kosei while playing. It's like they think while playing the piano, and somehow they expect other people to understand their thoughts. And at the end, they also wonder if others heard them. I mean, I don't know. I don't speak piano. And yeah, that's it. After the competition, Kosei and Kaori got disqualified because Kosei stopped playing at some point and Kaori passed out. But that was it. Up until now, I would say there is a little story, some good characters who are fun to watch and build a harmony together, and a cool competition arc, like Piano Wars or something like that. But the second half of this anime was unbearable. After the competition, Kosei starts to play for himself and he starts to compete in piano. But Kaori suddenly becomes very ill and Kosei gets traumatized again. At this point, it felt like the anime wants to make us sad intentionally, like it forces us to be sad. We watch a lot more Kosei thinking and getting depressed, and then Tsubaki also breaks up with her boyfriend, and we also watch her thinking about Kosei and getting emotional and also feeling depressed and stuff. Kaori is also very depressed. She's gonna die, but she tries to be positive, so her friends are not concerned with her. But actually, she once asks Kosei to suicide with her though. But anyways, we see so much emotions in the second part of the anime, and I did not like that. I don't know why. I was really sick of every character's thoughts and emotions. I even made some Star Wars Lego sets while watching the second half of this anime, because like nothing would happen. Every episode, some characters think and make themselves depressed. So, I don't know. It felt like the story forces you to become sad and emotional, but that does not feel organic, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. The songs and stuff were still very good, especially Kosei's final competition, where he imagines to play together with Kaori, was visually and audibly stunning. And I like scenes like this. I like it more when something happens and when we get the emotions of the characters while they do something. I like it more when something happens and when we get the emotions of the characters while they do something. Either they are fighting or competing or they are in different situations and stuff. But otherwise, if you just watch characters walking and thinking the whole time, and when you see them thinking about sad things and being sad, I don't know, this does not affect me much. I don't know. Anyways, at the end, Kaori dies, and it was like very obvious that she's gonna die. I just kept watching because I thought something else must happen at the end other than Kaori's death. I expected some kind of a plot twist because otherwise this anime would not be that popular, right? And it happened too. It turns out Kaori was a mastermind better than Lelouch and Light Yagami combined. She was a manipulator even better than Johann Liebert and Eisen combined. Like, she was a better stalker than Joe Goldberg, dude. So I think you probably know the plot twist, but let me explain. She was actually in love with Kosei, she idolized him since her childhood, and she made a sneaky plan to play together with Kosei. She became close to Watari, and my man Watari got played, dude. Sorry, Watari. And by the way, Kaori saw Tsubaki also as a rival. Like, dude, that's crazy. And I was definitely team Tsubaki since the beginning. Anyways, so Kaori joined the gang by dating Watari and came close to Kosei. And yes, that was an unexpected plot. I'm not gonna lie. But it still did not affect me that much emotionally, you know what I'm saying? So, I have lots of critique about this anime, and now let's get into the more detailed part. Like, first of all, I have to start with the good aspects. At the beginning, the story goes pretty fast. As I said, the first half was very enjoyable, and the musics are absolute masterpieces. I really like classical music, so I really enjoyed it, and some scenes were like very touching. And yeah, like that's it. Glazing time is over. Now, guys, to be honest, this is a very basic middle school love story. The story is not that deep, but the anime also does not have the intention to tell us a deep story. It feels like this anime is trying to make us feel emotional, which is okay, but it tries to forces us emotions. It does not feel organic. You know what I'm saying? And I also did not feel much empathy with the characters because of that. I think this is the main problem of this anime. For example, in Your Name, the events and story made us very emotional and sad. The story itself was like very touching. The anime did not directly try to make us feel in some way, but this anime can't do that. We watch the characters think and being sad, so it is expected from us to also be sad, but I think this is not enough. I'm sorry. And like, don't even get me started with the love triangle. I'm not a fan of love stories like that. The motto is basically the one I love does not love me back, and I don't love the one who loves me. And about the ending, I can only say I expected some plot twist, and maybe that was wrong. Maybe I had to watch this anime without any expectations. But anyways, the plot twist was fine. I really did not expect that, but Kaori died as I expected, and Kosei couldn't even tell Kaori once that he loved her, which made me actually so freaking angry. Like, dude, just go talk to her, man. Don't think. Just act. At least I hope he tells Tsubaki that he loves her. Otherwise, just die alone, Kosei. I don't care. And I also did not get one important thing. Like, why does everybody get so shocked when Kosei plays the piano? They have the notes for every piece. I really want to know what changes when different people play the same notes. And I'm not a pianist, so I don't know, but I'd like to know, so excuse my lack of knowledge. It was very weird seeing other characters reacting like very crazy when they hear Kosei playing. Like, dude, he's just playing the same piece as everyone else. What makes him so different? I didn't get it. So, if I have to wrap up, Your Lie in April is a fabulous show about this musician and those who are affected by him overcoming all of their own kinds of grief and hardships and stuff. It's not a flawless masterpiece by any means, and I would have loved to see more out of the supporting characters. Like, these rivals of Kosei were really cool, and I think the story could focus more on them. For example, we could have seen more of their lives or more of them. I mean, at least more than what we got. And especially we don't know much about my man Watari, who is the biggest victim of this anime. Like, he got played very hard. Yeah, so if you enjoy this kind of shows, I mean like romance animes, it is guaranteed that you will love this too. Even if the story and the characters don't end up grabbing you as much as they have grabbed others, you still might like it. But if you are new to romance animes, just like me, I wouldn't recommend this. I would recommend you to watch Your Name, or maybe trying out some other romance animes. I don't know. But this was definitely not for romance anime beginners, which I am. So don't make the same mistake like me. Don't get me wrong, it's not that bad, but it's also not that good. I enjoyed it at some points, but not the whole show. And it's definitely not a show for crying your eyes out, at least for me. And I guess I can still proudly say I am still a romance hater. But at least now I will get all the Your Lie in April TikToks from now on. And guys, like, if you know any good romance animes that you think can change my mind, like, please don't forget to comment down below. I really want to change my mind about romance animes. And I also try, but like Your Lie in April did not help me with that. So that's it from me. Please feel free to comment your thoughts, but please don't be so aggressive towards me. I am just a normal chill guy. I'm just a chill shonen enjoyer, and maybe that's the problem. Who knows? And see you in the next video.